Good evening. This is Jared with Fighter Solutions and the Dev Guys podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Shopify's pretty amazing pop-up lead capture plugin called JustUno. So to kick it off, we're here logged into our Shopify store. On the left-hand side, we're going to navigate to the apps link, and we're going to click on that. And once that opens up, we're going to click on Visit Shopify App Store in the top right-hand corner, and it's going to open up in a new tab. And in the search bar on the left-hand side here, we're going to type JustUno, U-N-O, just like the game. Search. Make sure you do that as one word, not two. And there you go. This first one here is going to pop up, JustUno. All right, so click on that, and it's going to open up with a page for that app specifically. All right, and just under the title here, we're going to click on Add App, and that'll take us to the plugin installation page. In the bottom right-hand corner, click on Install App. What? This says I already have it installed. Well, let me check my store. That's true. I already have it installed. I don't know how that's possible. Sometimes this happens whenever you click the installation. Sometimes it will recognize that the installation happens automatically. No worries though, so we'll just close this tab, and you can see on our apps page here that this is installed. So we're going to click on the link here for pop-ups, lead captures, and email list builder. That's going to open up our JustUno thing here. And so this is going to ask you to log into an existing account or create a new account. So for this instance, I will, for sake of the tutorial here, I will pause this video and I will create a new account so it's blank. And that's just been created. And now that we're logged in, this is a brand new account with JustUno. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to create our first pop-up notification. All right, so to get started, we're just going to click. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can build your own, or you can use some of the many pre-built options that we're going to look at specifically today. Building your own is great, but with the amount of effort that the JustUno team puts into building all of your holiday specials, their options are much easier to use. So at the bottom of this page, you can see that they have a pre-built promotion. And that's where we're going to start with. So to click on that, and that's going to open up. And right out the gate, it's actually 1 a.m. Christmas, so naturally we're going to have some Christmas type stuff here. So right out the gate, you have holiday landing page email capture. Okay, so here's an email capture, and you can see here that there's a bunch of these here. So we'll navigate to the next one and see what that one is. This is your mobile email capture. All right, that one's pretty good. Then you have a banner. This is a top bar. That is for desktops specifically. Then you have a holiday exit offer. Then on to your New Year's email capture. New Year's mobile email capture. Your banner. Your exit offer. All right, and next is a GDPR banner for your desktop. So GDPR, if you're not familiar, Europe set a new policy that went live this year to make sure the privacy of online customers is protected even more so than it already was being protected. And that policy is the GDPR. So if you have customers in in Europe, period, you're going to want to make sure you have something like this GDPR banner. Um, you don't necessarily have to have a banner to this extent, but you need something that talks about your GDPR policy of your company and stuff. So there's a couple of those in here. There's a mobile one here. Next is a generic email capture. Next is a mobile generic email capture. Then there's an exit offer, a spin to win. If you have ever seen this thing, it's rigged from the get-go. I know this because I use tools just like this, so I already know what's going to happen. And then here is the next one. This one pops out of the side, and the previous one takes up your page. But those are good tools. This here is your mobile version, and then this is your new visitor discount, new visitor for mobile, and your exit offer. All right, so these are very popular. The first 2 or 3 styles are always um, pre-built by JustUno team members, and they're very powerful. Some of these have more power than others, and some of them are pointless to an extent. So, for example, I never use the bar because I use other plugins to do the bar. So I never use a top bar or a bottom bar. I always use the pop-ups that are presented. So for this store, let's do your holiday email capture. So to begin this, you're going to click in the middle here, add this now, and that's going to generate your promotion. So right out the gate, this is exactly what happens when you do it. So just click on Let Me Play, and we'll go through this. So there is nothing on this page that you need to change at all, because it's right out the gate. It's pre-done for you. So all that we're going to do is we're going to click here in the bottom right hand corner. You can click next, or up at the top you'll see these tabs, and right now we're on the pre-engagement screen. You can also click post-engagement screen, and it'll take you to what happens then. So the pre-engagement is where they input their email. The post-engagement is where you say thank you and they can continue shopping. So in order to publish this, you're going to, well, first of all, if you make any changes, you have to click save every time. Since this is a pre-built um, theme template pop-up, which by definition, the coding developer term for pop-up is called modal. That's MODAL. So you might hear that as well. So this is already pre-built, so there's nothing to actually do here. So we're just going to click on publish in the bottom right-hand corner. And would you like to activate this promotion? Yes. All right. It's supposed to take you out of here. So, all right. Well, we do need to go into our integrations. So click next on the bottom right hand corner, and that takes you to the fun part. So this is the rules. So you can see here the rule name says new visitors. Now we can change that and do it for everyone. And so that's up to you. I will show you how to change it. So on the right hand side, we're going to click action. We're going to hit edit. Now, one way to do it is to just come in here and say every person. And another way to do it is to build two separate ones. Have one specifically for new visitors and one for everyone, or not new visitors. So here at the top, this is when you can show the pop-up. So, excuse me, you basically just have to take this piece one step at a time, okay? So here's your title for the rules on when to take the action. All right, on the right hand side, you'll see the action, and it's show pop-up or show in page or whatnot. Show pop-up is what we want to stay with. All right, so show pop-up when they're on a specific page, they look at 3 pages, when they're trying to leave the website, or when they've scrolled 30% of the page. So I prefer the 30% of the page because it can be any page. Well, you can also set it to any page, but you don't want customers that are never going to purchase from you, that are never going to interact or buy anything. You want quality customers because you're trying to build that customer lifetime value. So by them scrolling 30% of the page, that's going to trigger that they're actually engaging with your website. And that's why I prefer this one. Another good one is after 3 pages. So this is 2 different levels of marketing, of course, but this one is basically, anything on a specific page here on the left-hand side is just blast marketing. You just want to blast it out there to anyone and see what happens. Moving on to the scrolled 30% of a page, this is for customers who are actually interacting with your website, who are actually looking at your website. The next one, after 3 pages, this is for customers who are showing more interest than just a regular page visitor. And then when exiting, that is for your exit offers. So I don't like to use the initial blast for everyone on any page. I like to use 30% scrolling because this actually produces the quality customers. So it's easier to establish and build that customer lifetime value. Excuse me. So going to the next section, refined by options. This is important, okay? So to show on a specific page, we want to actually select any page because your website can contain anything from an array of blog postings. They could find you from Google search through images. They could find you through social media and links to specific products that they are interested in. So putting this on any page is substantially higher than just putting it on a specific page. For example, the home page. It will limit exposure, and you don't want to do that. Don't show on pages. Don't ever do that. You want this to show on any page, regardless. Any page, product, blog post, everything. And based off the rules that we've already predetermined here, scrolled 30% of the page. That's going to be our big ticket there. On the right hand side, you want this to show once per visitor session. All right, this is very important. So if I go to a website and it shows the pop-up, I can close that website, go and open that website back up, and it'll show that website again. It'll show that modal again, that pop-up. Okay, so you can change it to anything that you like, but the visitor session is the biggest ticket there for you guys. So when do you want it to stop showing? All right, and at any time, if you have questions, there's these little question buttons that you can click, and it'll answer what these are. So if you click on the show, it'll tell you, okay, so actually JustUno has established a timeline. A session is 30 minutes, which is actually not normal, but it's usually any time that they close the website and reopen it back up. So JustUno has established a session as every 30 minutes. That's pretty good. Stop showing. We'll open this up. Yep. So right here, if you choose never, it will show every time a visitor returns to your site. That's something to keep in mind. So that means if they provide their email address and they hit submit, right? If they provide that interaction, that engagement that you're wanting, and it still shows up, that's going to be very annoying for them. So you want to select after engagement with this promotion, because what that's going to do is it's going to recognize that they have put in their email address for this specific purpose that you're building right now. So that's definitely the answer that you're going to want to use. If you're running multiple lead captures, let's say that you're running two different types, one on desktop, one on mobile, you can select after engagement with any, and that'll kind of mitigate any issues with the person if they're, let's say that they put in their email while they're on their desktop and then they're out at work the next day checking your website from their phone. So it's still going to likely populate, but if they're on the same Wi-Fi with the same IP, it's not going to open that up again, which could push your customers away, and that's not what you want. At the bottom here, choose who. I actually want all visitors for this one. I do something different for new. I do new visitors and then I do all visitors. Returning visitors since 3 days ago is also an option. You can change that timeline. You can change it to 7, once a week. That's a pretty good idea. In this instance, though, we will select new visitors because that's what it's for. So add delay. Well, we missed one. Target traffic source. So if you want people specifically from Facebook to see a specific ad, modal, pop-up, then you can actually identify that here. So Facebook, and you can even narrow down by the campaign. So if you're running multiple ads on Facebook and you want people to see different advertising by different ads, different modals for different ads that you're running, then you can do that here. This is super powerful. I actually don't have any current ads because this is a temporary store that we're using just for this training purpose. If you have an email that you're sending out, an email blast, and you want them to see a specific um, modal, you can do that as well. You can also do Google Google AdWords, and you can actually dive into other specific URLs. So, for example, if you're using a funnel system and you provide them a URL to your store, you can actually use the landing page URL or a referral URL and generate a specific modal or pop-up for that purpose. And you can have all of these running at once. It's pretty amazingly powerful. Since at this instance, for this example, we're not doing anything crazy like that. We're just going to select all, which is by default selected. And then finally, the delay. So since we are waiting till they scroll 30% of the page, we don't want a delay. If we were using the original one, which was any page, then we probably could use this this delay button. Um, so I'm actually changing that to show immediately, because once they hit 30% of that page, I want it to show immediately. Um, and after this, all of our changes, we're going to click save. All right, and you'll see there your targeting rule has been saved. And now we'll move on to the fun stuff. So we'll click done, and now we've exited our rules on who sees what. Now we can click in the bottom left-hand corner, next, and this will take us to our integrations. Now, if you have not used any type of integrations before, uh, this stuff's pretty powerful. So keep in mind that JustUno is for Shopify, so obviously things like Kit are going to be included. And in Google Analytics, if you already have it configured with your store, it'll automatically work. So in this instant, we're looking at emails, because we're capturing emails. So I'm going to go down to Mailchimp, which is the email platform that we're using in this instance. We're going to click connect. And this is very simple. You need your Mailchimp key, your Mailchimp list ID, and then your segment ID if you have one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Mailchimp, and then I'm going to log into Mailchimp as soon as I get there. Log into Mailchimp. So I'm going to pause this for a second. All right, so I'm logged into my account here. This is my test account that I use to train people on how to use Mailchimp. It's always got either a lot of stuff or almost nothing. I call it Jared's house. That's pretty exciting stuff. So from here, going back to JustUno, we need the API key. So from the Mailchimp dashboard, we're going to hover over our name here in the top right hand corner and click. Then we're going to navigate down to account and click on that. From there, we'll see overview, settings, billing, extra, integrations, and transactional. Right out the gate, if you're not familiar with Mailchimp, you're going to want to go to integrations, just because we're on the integrations tab here inside of JustUno. But actually, we're going to go to extras. So click on extras, navigate down to API keys, and click on that. And right here, about a few inches down, you'll see your API keys. And you'll see there that there's an egg that says you don't have any active API keys. So click create a key, and that's going to actually generate your API key. All right, so the next part of this is probably the most important part that you'll ever learn, especially for Mailchimp. Um, Anytime you're using Mailchimp, you're always going to come across places, excuse me, places that require an API key. So using this label is probably the most important piece of everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this label and we're going to we're going to type in a label, something that's very unique and hard to get messed up. All right, something that it's too easy to never forget what this is. And the reason that we're going to do this is because anytime you need another API key for Mailchimp, you're going to have to come in here and create another key. And if all of them are listed as none set for your label, and if I come in here a year later and I have 5 API keys and I don't remember when I created them, that's going to create a problem because you can only use one API key for each application that you're doing it. And I mean, you can use more than one, but it makes things substantially better for you because Mailchimp will actually reject your app if you're not using them properly, which is one API per integration. So we're going to add a label here. We're going to call this Shopify JustUno. All right. And this will automatically save it, by the way. So click on the API key. It's going to hover everything. And then you can use Control C or right click and copy. Then navigate to your JustUno dashboard and click in here, and you can use Control V to paste or right click paste. Now that that is here, we're going to go and look for our list ID. So navigate back to Mailchimp, and in the top left hand corner you're going to select lists, and you always have at least one list. So I'll click on the subscribers list here. All right, and so from here we're going to click, you'll see stats, manage contacts, add contacts, sign up forms, and settings. Click on settings and go to list name and defaults. And on the right hand side you will see your list ID right here. So this number in red is actually the number we want. So copy, navigate back, and paste. Now that we have our list ID in there, we will hit save because in this instance we don't have a segment where our list is broken up into multiple variations. Then we can skip that part. So now that we have our settings saved, we'll close this and you'll see that Mailchimp is connected. The reason why this is so important is if you do not connect Mailchimp or HubSpot or any other email platform, you're going to have to download the spreadsheet every time you want to know who has interacted with this. And that is a waste of time. It's great if you're not using something like Mailchimp or HubSpot or GetResponse or any of these other email blast type systems. But at the end of the day, you're wasting your time if you're not using something. And I know for a fact Mailchimp is free up to 12,000 emails a month or 2,000 subscribers throughout all of your lists. So if you're just starting out, you're new in business, Mailchimp is perfect for you. And that's the reason why I promote it so much, because it's perfect for people starting out. So now that we've integrated all of our tools, let's go do a quick check. Make sure we got nothing else in here. Awesome. We're going to click on save. And once that's saved, we're going to click on publish. And now that it's been published, we're going to click on the top right hand corner of the entire screen here. We'll see promotions. So click on that, and that'll take us to where the fun part begins. So in this instance, we do not have a coupon to be applied, so there's nothing to worry about here. So priority determines in which order things are viewed, and obviously we don't, this is our first one, so this was priority 1. Status is on or off archive. So we are live. Here's the preview. This is what it looks like. Last modified promotion name. If you're using a pre-built promotion, there's no actual need to change the name. You can if you want, but it's kind of wasting your time, and time is a precious commodity, so it's up to you. Impressions, engagements, conversions. This is where your initial data will be, but you can click the bar graph icon to view reports. And so since we have nothing here, there's no reports to view, but I will still go to that. Let's go to view reports. So here you can select on the left hand side all of these different options. You can select your source, your landing page, specifically your specific URLs, your promotions, your countries, country of origin for the clients, customers, conversions, carts, emails, and performance, etc., etc. You can take all of those and you can narrow them down by desktop, mobile, everyone, new customers, returning customers, and on the right hand side you can select your timeline. These reports are quite profound. They're very good. If you are not, if you are engaging well, if you're at least getting a lot of traffic, you'll have good reports. If you're getting a low number of traffic and a low number of interactions with people, it's not really going to help you out. But if you do have a high number of traffic, you will at least see some legitimate numbers here. So back here, we're going to add this into a folder. We're going to call this folder 2018 Christmas. So create that folder. We're going to take this and add, I'm sorry. So now that that folder is created, we're going to select this promotion and then click on this folder button right here, add to folder, and then we're going to select 2018 Christmas, add to selected folder. Now, the reason that we're doing this is because we're going to go back and we're going to create more, and we're going to build, you can actually build out the whole year and set them into separate folders and whatnot. And it's easier to manage because you just click on your folder. Okay, Christmas is over. Click on your folder, select all, and turn them all off. Then navigate to your other folder, select all, turn them all on. And that's how fast it is to switch from Christmas to New Year's promotions. And that's why these type of tools are very powerful. But here in this instance, we have your desktop. So now we actually have to go back and create a mobile version as well. So let me do that real quick. I'm actually going to skip the Mailchimp integration. So we're going to click on new promotion and then choose a pre-built. All right, here's your desktop. Now we're going to go to your mobile, add this now. This is a rapid version. All right, that looks good. Next, you have unsaved changes. Okay, save. I didn't save anything, but okay. I didn't change anything. Our rules should still be applied, but we'll double check them. 30% of the page, every visitor session, uh, after engagement with this, show on any page, new visitors, all visitors, and show immediately, save. There we go, done. Okay, it's moving slower than me. All right, so we'll move on to the next one. Integrations. Mailchimp is not connected. I'm going to skip it this time. We're going to go to publish. Yes, I would like to activate it, and promotions. So now here we have our mobile version as well. Now this mobile version, as you might notice, is not part of our 2018 Christmas. So we need to go in here and add it to the folder, add to folder 2018 Christmas. So now we have just Christmas. So when we go in here and we add, I'll go ahead and rapid fire 2 of these New Year's versions. All right, so we have here, we've built the New Year's desktop and the New Year's mobile versions. So what I'll do is I'll select both of these. I will add them to a new folder, and we're going to call that one 2018, 2019 New Year's. Create folder. So now we have 2 separate folders here. So it's just as I described before, when it's time for you to switch, obviously we have to turn these off. Okay, so when it's time for you to switch between Christmas and New Year's, it's literally this fast. I click on the Christmas folder, I select all, I turn them off. They are now off. I click the New Year's folder, I select all, I turn them on. They are now live. It's that fast. It took me a total of 5 seconds to do all of that. And that's what's so beautiful about JustUno, is that you can rapidly switch between multiple instances of your promotions and switch to the next one. And you can prepare the majority of these months in advance. And if you get into the part where you're building these out for yourself, you're doing all of these manually, these are ridiculously powerful. Another feature that we did not use was, which I'll go over it. It's the, how do you say, it is the new visitor sign up with your email for a discount code. That's hard to put into words. So before we start this, we're going to have to navigate to our store, and on the right hand side, navigate to discounts. Then we're going to click create discount. And this one is our first one, so we'll just call it Just Uno 25. So that discount value is 25%. Entire order, everyone, no requirements. Limit 1 use per customer. That's a good idea. Limit number of times this discount can be used in total. Yeah, let's say 100 people. And then start now. So save that discount. Just Uno 25. So we'll copy that. All right. So we're going to click on the Just Uno dashboard. Under the promotions tab, we're going to go to the right hand side and click on new promotion. Then we're going to choose a pre-built promotion. And we're going to click on this, the bubbles at the bottom, the circles. We're going to click on the very last one. All right, cart abandoner. All right, so you can actually add these to every one of those email captures. it's excitingly complicated. It's exciting and sometimes complicated to do that, but it's definitely worth your time to have the extreme graphics that JustUno uses, and also apply a discount coupon to that. So we're going to click add this now. And this was actually for a 25% discount, so I'll change that. 25% off. And notice here that there's a short code. All right, you don't have to do anything here. So we're going to click save and navigate to the next page, and we're going to hit publish. Now, this says you haven't set up your coupon codes. So you can click here, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to show you how to do it on the promotions page. So click OK, and then back to our main promotions page. So under this gearbox on the right hand side for that promotion, we're going to click on it, and it's going to open up edit coupons. So click there, and it'll pull up your coupon entry there. So we're going to click, there's 3 different type of coupons. There's your multi-use, which is what we just entered. There's unique coupon codes, which means you have to enter in every one of them individually. So if you wanted to do 100 separate coupons, right? So let's say it was Shopify 1, well, let's say 001, Shopify 002, etc., etc. You would have to enter in every one of those, which is easy to do if you have Excel pretty handy, but it's kind of a waste of time because you don't need that. The next one is fetch coupons. So this will actually pull in coupons that you have in your system. So we're actually using Shopify. So this will actually, this is a whole new ball game. This is actually new, so I've never used this, but we're going to click on multi-use coupon and paste in our coupon and hit save changes. I'll have to come back to the new fetch coupons and do something specifically for that. But once we've done that, we can click on the status drop-down bar and click on, and that will actually publish. Nope, it did not. In the gear, back to the right-hand side, click on that and click publish. And now our campaign is published. So you don't actually have to enter in a coupon code there. What's going to happen is we're going to go to our store, and this is a generic store. And then when we try to see, here's a collection. Oh, well, there's no products in here. We're going to reset our profile. Anyway, so what's going to happen is that coupon code is automatically going to be entered into that field after they provide you their email address. So it's pretty amazing. That's all I have for this time for JustUno. If you have any questions, which I'm sure you guys will, you can reach out to Fighter Solutions or comment on our Dev Guys podcast. We're listed on Google, on iTunes, and you can also watch this video on YouTube. Thanks, guys. That's JustUno, an amazing Shopify plugin. That's all we have for today. Have a good one. Peace.